Welcome to America Reads Fun Learning Activities. We are college students who create learning activities for kids. Our fun activities are focused on reading, writing, and math. Thank you for joining us to learn today. Today, we have myself, Raymond Armijo, who will cover the topic for today. And that topic will be finding the area of compound shapes by breaking it down into smaller shapes and finding those areas. And if you don't know what a compound shape is, look at this example. It's basically a mixture of all these different types of shapes to create one crazy shape. This one has a right triangle, rectangle, and half circle. For today, let's look at the instructions. You'll need a pen or a pencil with some paper. Step 1 is to copy the shape onto a piece of paper, and then step 2 would be to follow along with the video on cutting out the paper so we can create those smaller shapes that we want to find the area for the compound shape. Awesome, now let's get started by taking a look at our first example. Pause the video so you can draw this shape out. Okay, now let's take a look. We have two shapes here. Let's break it into two. We have A and shape B. Let's look at shape A first. And shape A is a rectangle with the dimensions of 5 centimeters and 6 centimeters. And we know that to find the area of a rectangle, we need to multiply the length times the width. And so, all we do is we multiply 5 times 6. And then that will give us an answer of 30 centimeters squared. And that's our area for shape A. So now, let's take a look at shape B. Shape B is a right triangle, and those can be a little tricky, but we can get it together. The formula for a right triangle would be half the base times the height. And so, we don't know what the base is, but we can find it by doing 14 minus 6 to get 8. And then we could do 8 divided by 2 times 5 to give us 20 centimeters squared. And that is our area for the right triangle. Alright, now let's put the compound shape together and find our total area for that compound shape. So all we're going to do here is we're going to multiply 30 centimeters squared plus 20 centimeters squared to give us our grand total of 50 centimeters squared for the total area of the compound shape. Good job! Now that we've got this one down, let's try and look at another example. This example can be broken up into two shapes, but first draw it on paper, so pause the video. Alright, so we have two shapes, shape A, which is a rectangle, and shape B, which is a square. Let's take a look at shape A is a rectangle, and we know what to do with those. So the dimensions of shape A are 10 meters times 15 meters, and we know that area formula is length times width. So let's do 10 times 15, and that will give us an answer of 150 meters squared. Alright, now let's take a look at shape B, which is a basic square, and it's pretty easy because squares have all the same sides. And so if we know one side of a square, we can find the area of it. And so, the formula for a square is the length times width. We know one side is 4, so we multiply 4 times 4 and get 16 meters squared. Alright, now let's put them back together and find our total area for our compound shape. So to do that, we just added, like the last time, 150 meters squared plus 16 meters squared to give us 166 meters squared. Awesome job! You guys are learning this really quick. So now, let's take a look at our third and last example. Let's imagine that this is a backyard and you want to divide it up into two areas, one where you can play and one where you could just hang out. So take some time and draw it on a piece of paper. Okay, so we have two shapes here. Shape A is a rectangle and shape B is a half circle. So let's take a look at shape A, because we know what to do with rectangles. So the dimensions are 6 inches by 8 inches. And we know that we multiply the length times the width to get our area. So all we have to do is multiply 8 times 6 to get our area, which will be 48 inches squared. And now let's take a look at our half circle, which is a little more complicated, but we can get it together. So the formula for our half circle is the radius squared times pi, and all of that has to be divided by 2. So we know the diameter is 8, so radius is 4, multiply 4 times 4 is 16 times pi, we divide that by 2 to get 8 pi inches squared. Okay, now let's put this shape back together into one piece and get our total area of the compound shape. And to do that, we're going to do what we did last time. We're just going to add them. 48 inches squared plus 8 pi inches squared. If you plug this into a calculator, you should get 73.13 inches squared. Great work! You guys did awesome today. Now that you have a better understanding of how to find the areas of these weird compound shapes, you can do it on your own. And this is important because it'll help you later in math when you have to deal with even bigger and crazier shapes. Yes, so great work today. But we're not done just quite yet. I would like you to try these questions on your own and see how it goes. So feel free to pause the video and try them out on your own. Thank you for joining us to learn today. We hope you come back and learn some more. Please comment if you have any questions, like and subscribe to our channel, and we will be back with more videos. Thank you for joining us to learn today.